Hello. Happy Wednesday. It is Wednesday, May the 11th, 2022. I am Jennifer Kirk. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator from Guelph, Ontario. And we are going to make this really cute fancy fold card. So this fold I learned from Lisa Curcio from Lisa Stamp Studio. So thank you, Lisa, for the inspiration. I love this fold. I have done a few other folds, or a few other cards using the same fold. I'm not going to show you them. I can't even speak tonight. I'm not going to show them to you tonight because they are part of my next class that I'm going to be offering, and I'd like it to be a surprise. So keep your eyes out for the post for my next class's registration. It's going to be coming hopefully tomorrow, but if not, for sure by Friday. And we're going to be doing this fun fold, but a totally different card. All right. So this is a perfect card for masculine. You can change this up to a birthday, congratulations, whatever you. I did it as a thank you, and the inside is really cute. Look at how cute this is. Okay, so let me get my iPad started, and then we will get started. I'm just trying to find me on Facebook so that I can follow along with comments for anyone that's watching. If you are watching, please make sure to leave a comment so that I know you're here. And yeah. Okay, this is not straight. Wow. Look at that. My camera is all messed up. All right. So let's get going with this one. Okay, so I have pre-cut a whole bunch of pieces. Let's hope I can remember the measurements. So the card base, I'm using Early Espresso, and this is 4 1/4 by 11, and we're gonna deal with that in a minute. I have some other layers here. So we have a DSP layer and a Sahara sand layer, and that's for the inside of the card. And those are 4 5 1/4 for the DSP. This is 4 5 1/4, and this is 4 1/8 and 5 3/8. And then I've done a whole bunch of pre-cutting in that, so you don't have to sit here and watch me cut. This is just scrap Early Espresso. We have a basic white. This is 2 by 7/8 by 2 by 7/8, and I have embossed it with the splatter embossing folder. I don't know if you can see that. That will be the outside of our card. The inside is a little bit bigger. No, a little bit smaller, and this is 2 3/4 by 2 3/4, so that will be our inside. And then our front panel DSP and layering, which I might go this way, could go this way. Good to see which way looks good when we get there. This is 3 1/8 by 3 1/8 by 4, and this is 3 1/4 by 4 1/8. Okay, so I will try and remember to write all these down. The rest of the stuff, I just did a bunch of cutting. Okay, so let's get started. Hey, Heather. Hey, Sarah. How are you guys doing? I hope you're having a good day. You have to excuse me tonight. I don't know. I'm having a rough time. Sometimes I can't even put a sentence together. Okay, so we're going to take our card base, and we are going to score this at 2 1/8. So 2 1/8. So you guys are going to have to help me out, because I likely won't be able to make a decision to save my life. Okay, and then we are going to score at 5 1/2. Okay, so 2 1/8 and 5 1/2. And this is our card base. I'm going to just set this off to the side because I'm going to need that in a second. And I'm going to bring it in my bone folder, and I'm just going to give it a good burnish. You want these to be really nice and crisp. This one, we're going to actually fold the opposite way. Okay. So we have a card base that goes like this. Hey, Betty. We'll help you. Oh, thank you, Betty. I need all the help I can get. Okay, so this is the card base. So what we're going to do now, if I can find a trusty pencil and a ruler, is we are going to measure halfway. Okay, so this is 4 1/4, so halfway is 2 1/8, and we're just going to put a pencil mark right there. And then we are going to bring in our fancy dancy trimmer, and we're going to cut on a diagonal from here to the score line, and then from here to the score line, and we're going to make a little arrow. So all I do is I put the pencil mark in the track here, and I put the score line in the track, line those up, shut it, and then give it a cut. Okay, and then I'm getting a nice straight angle there. I'm going to do the same thing, so I'm going to put the score line in the track, the pencil mark in the track, okay, and then give it another cut. And we have a little arrowhead. Okay, perfect. So that's the front of our card. So I can put this away now. The next thing we're gonna do is get rid of some of these papers. So, okay, so you guys are gonna have to help me. On my original card, I did this side and then the argyle on the back. Do we want to do the same thing, or do we want to switch it up? Do we want to do it this way and this way? Let's see. Which one do you think? I kind of like the argyle on the back. Is that argyle? I don't even know. I can't even think. Hey, Karen. I do think I like it the other way. I don't know. Let's try it the other way. Okay. So let's go the original way where this is going to be on the front. And so we're just going to glue this down. I struggled with this card. I will tell you. It took me hours and hours, and I still don't know if I'm quite there with it. So we might be playing a little bit tonight. And we're going to glue this down on the inside. So I'm just using Tombow. You can use whatever adhesive you like. I like the Tombow because I could never get anything straight, you see? If I was using a strong adhesive, I would now have a crooked card. But with the Tombow, I can move it and get it lined up the way I want it. And I just have that little bit of time to be able to do that. So now we're going to put the DSP on this side. So I'm just going to cut that, put that right here. So let's put some adhesive. Again, whatever adhesive you want. I hope you guys are enjoying the absolutely gorgeous weather that we are having right now. It is unbelievable. I'm so excited for the weekend. It's fishing season opens up this weekend, and my husband and my eldest son are avid fishermen. So we're going to be out fishing for the weekend, and it's going to be gorgeous weather. I can't wait. I'm so excited. Okay. So I'm going to stick these down. I am going to come back in with my bone folder and just make sure this is a really nice solid crease here, because we want it to be able to lay fairly flat and not stand straight up. Okay, so we've put the card base together, and sorry.
Fixed.
Oh, awesome. Sorry. My husband just interrupted. I apologize for that. We've had some issues with our indicators on our boat, and he just told me that he got it fixed. So that's awesome. So we're safe to travel this weekend. Okay, so this is the front panel here. You can see that I put it through. I thought this looked kind of like splatters of like beer bubbles coming up. So I'm going to take, and this may be a total failure. We're just going to try, see what this looks like. I'm going to take my crushed curry and my sponge dauber, and we're just going to, so I've already pre-embossed this. I don't know if you guys can see that. And I'm just going to very, very lightly just come over the oh, I went too dark there. over the raised spots. And you can just see it's just going to add a little bit of depth. I didn't do this on the first one, and I thought it looked kind of plain, so I wanted to try something a little bit different and see if it works. So I'm just very, very lightly, some spots I went too dark, but that's okay, going over, and that just adds a little bit of texture. So the other thing that we want to do right now, and let me see if I can find them, is to take our little, do you guys see this? Isn't that cool? Do you see the bubbles? So I'm going to show you how I did that. Super easy. I don't think this will travel very well in the mail. So this, if you're going to make this card, I think this is really a hand-in-person card, not go through the mail, because I think this would probably rip the, oh, and I just lost one. This will probably rip the envelope going through the mail sorter, okay? It might work. I can try it, maybe. Maybe I'll mail one and see how it goes. But I'm going to show you how simple it is to do this. So I'm just going to bring out my silicone mat. And these little balls are in the new annual catalog, and they're the effervescent elements. And these are awesome for shaker cards. You get, they're spheres, and different sizes in here, and you get lots. You get like over 2,000 pieces of them. So we're going to use those to make bubbles on our beer. You know how, if I can find my glue, you know how when you, so when I was traveling out of university, I was a bartender in Australia. So I went to Australia and I worked in a bartender. And if you didn't pour your beer just right, you got like a head from hell. So it just frothed and frothed and frothed. So this reminded me of those beers when I was first learning how to pour one as a bartender. So all I did was generously put Tumbo. And then I'm just going to, now these guys will roll everywhere, so I'm going to stop them from going on the floor because I don't want my dog to eat them. So I'm just putting my hand here. And all we're going to do is pick them up and drop them in the glue. We're going to try to avoid getting glue all over our fingers until the very end when we push them down. So I just thought this looked really cool. And normally, or before, I would have used Crystal Effects on this, but it's retired. So I'm very sad, but this is kind of fun. Okay, so I'll just stick that one down in here. You don't need to get total coverage. Just, you know, wherever. And then these will be the heads of the beer. Just kind of, I don't know, I think it's fun. I hope you guys like it. Okay, let me, once I get all of these on here and I'm not afraid of getting glue on my fingers, I will push them down a little bit more in the glue. They will still, once the glue solidifies or dries, they will be more secure. But right now, they're very loose. I can't get this one on. Come on, obey, get on there. I'm not gonna stick. All right. Okay, so I think that's cool. Oh, see, and these guys will go everywhere, so just be aware of making a mess. All right, so all I'm gonna do now is I'm just gonna kind of push them down into the glue so that I'm getting a good contact with the glue and the balls. Now some will come off on your finger. Not a big deal. You just put them back on. And when they dry, they will be nice and secure on there. There we go. All right. Now they're sticking to, see, I didn't want glue all over my fingers to do this, but now I got it. There. All right. And those ones are good. So we're going to set those aside and let them dry. Let me move them carefully. Actually, I'm just going to move this whole thing and put it over here. There. Okay. So we are ready to put our beer together. So I have gone and I have already pre-stamped and pre-cut. You know what? This is how crazy of a day I'm having. I haven't even showed you the stamp set. So I am using the Brewed for You stamp set. Isn't this fun? Like there's, in Australia, we call these schooners, or if they were smaller, we called them pots. And then there's the kind of the classic North American beer. When I was in Czech, we would take ceramic pots to the pub, fill it up with beer and go back home and drink it. And that reminds me of the ceramic pots there. And then, you know, whiskey drinkers or whatever. And then this coordinates with this super cute die. I'm missing something down here. And we have some hops in here, some frothing beers, and all the different glasses. So isn't this cool? So this is the Brewed for You bundle, which we're featuring tonight. And I didn't even introduce that. So I am so sorry, guys. All right. It's very nice here in Nova Scotia. Oh, wow. I think we're getting really good weather. Opposite. Do the opposite. Sorry, Betty. I just saw this now. I'm just reading them. Would puff paint work, do you think? Yes. Puff paint definitely would work, Heather. It's not current, so I didn't want to use it in case people wanted to buy it, right? But yes, we used to carry something called puff paint, and you could, you would put the puff paint on and then heat it up and it would puff up and that would look perfect. And you could put some Wink Stella on there, Heather, and it would be awesome. Okay, so I stamped these in Smoky Slate and then I cut them out with the dies. And this, can you guys see this? Do you know what that is? I don't even have it with me. Hold on, let me grab a piece. This is the new, what is it called? Distressed Gold paper. Isn't this cool? I thought this looked so much like beer with that texture. It's kind of like, it's a gold, but it's very distressed and it's textured. It looks very textured. Hopefully you guys can see that and it's not too, let me take it out of the plastic. You know, that would just make sense. Do you see it now without the glare? You're still getting a bit of glare, but it is really cool. So this is a new specialty paper that's available. So I just die cut the insides of these cups and I'm just going to glue them. There are stamps that you could stamp to fill those up. So I could, and you know what? Let me do it so you can see. The gold foil will cover it. Actually, you know what? I'm not going to do that because I'm going to do this on the inside. So you don't need to see that. But it is a two-step stamp. So you could stamp the color on the inside with, you know, whatever color beer. If you want an amber beer or a lager or whatever. You could do that. Or you could do what I did and die cut the paper out. So let's just glue these guys down. Am I able to be followed? I'm like, I don't know. I'm having one of those days where my brain is just not functioning. Okay, and then we'll do this one. And this is a really cool, it's cut, but there's also embossed. I don't know if you guys can see the little bubbles in here. It looks really cool in person. Okay. There we go. So now we are going to do, now because we are going to be attaching this on an angle like this, okay, I want to make sure that whatever I'm putting here for sentiment wise, that it is also on an angle. So I actually use our grid paper and I line up the top and the bottom so that it's straight. So I know that this will be straight in my card. And basically what I want to do is I want to have these kind of clinking like they're cheering each other. They're giving a cheers. So I want them on an angle. You could put them straight up if you wanted, like they're on a table. But I thought it was kind of neat to have them clinking. So let me line this back up so I'm straight, and I'm going to put them just down just like that. And then I have a sentiment that I have cut out. You can see on my original what I did here. So this sentiment, let me show you this. These are awesome. So this is Lisa Curcio's $1 Million stamp set, and it's all sentiments, and they're wonderful. Like, you can use the stamp set for anything from babies to congratulations to support to thank yous to birthdays, and they have dies that cut out all the sentiments. Okay, and then they have some extra dies in here too. This is a must-have. I've been using this constantly. They have candles and flowers and stars and hearts, so they have some extra dies in here as well. Love this. If you want a sentiment set and a die set to go with it, this is what you need. Okay, so on this one, what I did was I stamped the thank you, and then I cut out a second thank you in the early espresso, and then I just cut it in half and placed it so I have like a bit of a shadow. Okay, because otherwise it would have just been kind of, this one is okay because I put this in yellow, but otherwise it would have been white on white and it didn't really stand out. So what I'm going to try on this one is I'm going to stick it on here, and we're just going to fussy cut it out. Okay, and just see, because it was a little bit strange, not strange, but it bothered me a little bit that I didn't have brown on the sides here. So let's just see which one looks better. We're just playing. We're playing now. I really need water because I've been talking too much, which is normal for me. All right, so let's give this a whirl. I'm just gonna really, I'm leaving just a little bit. Doesn't have to be perfect. It's not going to be perfect. Of a border all the way around. Okay, I'm not going to be able to talk and do this because I need to concentrate. Today is the day that I cannot multitask. Oops, I cut one too close. Well, that's okay. Do you notice when I'm cutting that I'm actually moving the paper as opposed to the scissors? So I'm keeping the scissors going in the same direction, and I'm moving the paper. It just gives you a little bit more, or quite a bit more, control on what you're cutting. All right. You know what? I do, even though that's a little bit more fussy work than that, of just cutting out two and cutting in half, I do like that we have brown all the way around. Okay, so we are ready to put the front of this card together. So I'm going to stick this down. I'm going to stick this down like they're giving a cheer, and then this is going to go in the middle. And I do want these touching so it doesn't look like anything is floating. So let's do that. Okay, I'm totally ignoring you guys. Hey Sandy, you used puff paint last week and you colored it afterwards. That would be awesome. Formerly draft beer. What do you mean? It's not called draft beer anymore? Sorry, I'm reading the comments and I'm only reading part of them, so I'm probably not following. Okay, again, fussy cutting this way. Not fussy cutting, putting glue on so that I can move it a little bit. It's okay if it goes off a little bit. That's fine. I want them clinking. Okay, I'm just going to hold that down. Because of the textures in here, you do have to make sure the glue gets a good contact. And then you really want your sentiment to be straight. So I'm going to stick that down just like that. Now, I could pop these up. And it really doesn't matter because when we put the beads on, the effervescent, what are they called? Elements, that will be so much depth that if I put dimensionals here, it wouldn't matter. I hope that's straight. Okay, so we can bring in our guys now. Let me make sure. I did make, yeah, see those aren't quite dry, so I'm not going to use these ones because they're going to come off on me. I did make a couple ahead of time. just in case they weren't dry by the time we got to them. So those ones are dry. So I'll leave these and I can do another card. Yay! Okay. So all we're going to do is put some glue on them and stick them down. Okay? Aren't these cool? Don't they look like beer bubbles? I don't know. Love it. Okay. And then I'm going to stick this one down. I'm going to leave it a little bit off the edge here because I do want the other one to be able to come down. And this one has quite a much, the person pouring this beer had much more difficulty because it's all the way down the side. That's probably me pouring my beers in Australia. All right. And I'm just going to hold that down, get it down. Yay. There we go. Cute. And this, we then stick just like this. So we want to make sure we just put adhesive in this area here. We could use Tumbo. I am just going to pull out my stamping seal, maybe take the lid off, that might help. And I'm just going to put some here. Now I'm not going straight over to the edge because I do have a border. If I go straight to the edge here, that's fine. But along here, I do have a border of the early espresso showing. So I don't want to put the adhesive right to the edge. Okay. And we're just going to straighten that up a little bit. And there's the front of our card. Cute, eh? Ah, see, love it. It is awesome. Masculine cards for me are always a challenge. Unless they're fishing, because my guys fish, then they're easy. But they're always a challenge for me. Okay, so then the inside of the card, basically all we're going to do is decorate this. So you could, so on the inside here, you could put another piece of the DSP and make it continuous. You could also put a gift card holder if you had a gift card. It's just a little pouch right here, and it's an awesome spot for a gift card holder or a gift card. And then this triangle, we're going to center it, but we want to make sure that it's not going to hang out here where you're not going to see it. Okay, so before we stick it in there, we're going to do some stamping. I'm going to grab a drink of water because I am talking way too much. Hey Martine, how are you? Hi Brenda. Thank you, Sarah. I hope you're feeling better. Sarah's having a rough day just like I am. Okay, so we're going to stick this just like this. Again, I'm using the grid lines because this will be on an angle and I want everything to be kind of straight, right? So I'm using my grid paper. Do you notice this grid paper? Isn't this cute? This is one of the new in color grid papers that are now available. All right. So the first thing we're going to do is bring out our sentiment. My sentiment is actually crooked, so let me straighten it. I do use these grid lines also to line up my sentiment and my stamps so that I get them straight. Because I don't do anything straight. Everything that I do is crooked, which is why Tumbo is my best friend. Okay. So I owe you one or several. Isn't that cute? Okay, stick it down. So this paper is from the He's the Man suite, which I think I showed. Did I show that last week? I can't remember. I'm getting it all. Everything is just one big blur. All right. So we are going to now, I'm going to show you how to use this two-step. So I'm going to take my smoky slate and I'm going to do a beer right there. The other thing that we have that is new in this catalog, which I'm super, super excited about, is masking paper. So this is like, you know how I always use my Post-it notes to mask? Well, now we have masking paper. So all I did was I cut out, I did stamp it just so that I could keep it and know what it is. But I cut out this beer case, this beer stein, and actually, you know what? Let's do the inside first before I do that. So I'm going to take out my crushed curry, and I'm going to take the inside of my stamp set, which is the beer. I'm going to stamp off, and then I'm going to come in and just, it's 2 steps so I can line it up with the lines, hopefully. If you could get things straight, it would line up with the lines. It's good enough. And then I'm going to just put this masking paper over top. And what this does is it allows me to stamp other glasses that are also going to be kind of clinking this one without stamping over my original stamp. So I'm just going to put a top of a beer there and then turn this around. And I'm going to put another top of the beer right here. Okay. So we have 3 glasses there. And I can get rid of this. I'm not ignoring you guys. I'm just not having you love the grid paper. I do too. And it comes in all the different in colors, Martin. It is gorgeous. And it is available. So everybody can buy it. Okay, so again, I'm just going to fill up the beer, and I'm stamping off because I don't want it too bright. I'm having a light beer to go with my diet. What diet? So you can see how now it looks like there's, they're on top of each other, right? So it adds a little bit of depth by using that masking paper. So I think it's really cool, and it saves your Post-it notes. So the only thing I'm going to do now is I'm going to take these little bubbles, and I'm just going to do kind of a splash around the back. So it's the bubbles coming off the beer. Don't put your finger in the ink pad like I just did. That's not a good choice, because then you'll get crushed curry everywhere. And that's it. All right. See my crushed curry fingers? Okay, so we want to line this up. I'm just going to do a double check before I glue it down. We're going to line it up, make sure it's not sticking out at the sides, and we can stomp it down. Again, I am going to use Tombow just so I have a second if I don't line it up properly. I'm getting it in this kind of in the center. There we go. Center, top, bottom. Close it, make sure it works, and then I'm going to plop it down. And there we go. So I think it's a cute card. You can change out the paper, obviously. You can make it more feminine. You can do cocktails instead of beer. But perfect for thank you, all occasions, congratulations, birthdays, etc. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. It's a cute, fun, full card. Again, I have a new class coming up that I will be advertising it in the next day or 2. So, and we will be doing this fun fold with a different, totally different, looks completely different. It's not using the beer set at all. It's using the He's the Man. So it would be perfect for Father's Day or for any masculine birthdays that you have coming up. So thank you guys. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you for putting up with my scatterbrain night tonight, because, you know, it's tough to put a sentence together. Which one do you like, actually? Do you like the white, or do you like, I think I like the splattered. Maybe if I'd done this a little bit lighter, it would be even better. I don't know. I like it. Okay. Thank you guys for joining me, and I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful evening. Enjoy this gorgeous weather before the rain comes back. And I'm going to move that down so you can see both of them. And thanks for stamping with me tonight. Take care. Bye for now.